Once upon a time in Victorian London, the frost-bitten streets glittered under a canopy of shimmering snowflakes. In the heart of the bustling city, where laughter and cheer filled the air, there was one house that stood apart from the rest. It was the abode of Ebenezer Scrooge, a grumpy old miser loathed by all. Scrooge's name had become synonymous with greed, particularly around Christmas, a time he would rather forget. Yet, that Christmas Eve felt different. For the first time in years, the air buzzed with an odd magic. And this Christmas, unbeknownst to Scrooge, a surprise awaited him. As midnight approached, and the townsfolk settled into their homes, a twinkling light appeared at the window of Scrooge's dark, cold chamber. In the blink of an eye, the spirit of Christmas, a jolly figure with a red coat and a sleigh filled with laughter and cheer, floated across the room. It was Santa Claus himself, accompanied by the echoes of joyful carols that transcended the years. "Ebenezer!" Santa called, his voice warm and vibrant. "Do you remember the real spirit of Christmas?" Scrooge stirred, rubbing his weary eyes. "What nonsense is this? I'm too old for fairy tales," he grumbled, adjusting his spectacles with a glare. But Santa was undeterred. "Christmas is not about possessions or wealth, Ebenezer. It's about giving and sharing. Tonight, you will learn what it truly means." And with a swift swirl of his hand, the room filled with the laughter of children, tinged with the scent of warm pastries and pine. Suddenly, Scrooge found himself standing outside his dreary home, his heart pounding with the sound of joyous bells. The streets were aglow with twinkling fairy lights, and the laughter of families echoed around him. In the warmth of the town square, a large Christmas tree twinkled with radiant decorations, a beacon of hope and love. But as he snuck closer, Scrooge noticed that something was different. People were leaving gifts under the tree, not for themselves, but for those less fortunate. "Look!" Santa said, gesturing to a group of children, their faces aglow with excitement. They picked up beautifully wrapped presents, tossing them into a massive collection for the poor. "These gifts are not just toys, they are reminders of kindness, compassion, and love." Scrooge watched with a mix of curiosity and disbelief, his hardened heart beginning to feel a flicker of warmth. "What is the meaning of this?" he asked, his voice faltering. "Watch and learn," chuckled Santa, sprinkling a handful of shimmering dust that twinkled like stars. Suddenly, Scrooge was transported back to his lonely home, but this time, he wasn't alone. The ghostly figures of his past, his late partner Jacob Marley, and the joyful spirits from Christmases long ago surrounded him. "Ebenezer," whispered Marley, his voice echoing with urgency. "You can change this. Remember the joy of giving, how kindness once lit up your life." Haunted by memories of happier times, Scrooge gripped his chest. The joy that they once shared, the laughter that filled his heart, he longed for it again. Could he truly change? Could he embrace the spirit of giving? "Come, Ebenezer. You shall not face this night alone," Santa called, leading him back to the main street, where Santa's sleigh awaited, ready to take him on a journey through the heart of London. With each house they visited, Scrooge witnessed the delightful act of giving, the warmth of families gathering, sharing meals, and comfort. Friends exchanged gifts, laughter rang through the air, and strangers extended hands of friendship to one another, filling the streets with bright hope. Drawing deeper into the spirit of Christmas, Scrooge realized that giving had left an imprint beyond material possessions. It brought joy, connection, and love. The weight of his past began to lift, replaced by an overwhelming desire to be part of it all. As dawn broke and sunlight flooded the streets of London, Santa placed a hand upon Scrooge's shoulder. "Now, Ebenezer, it's your time to shine. You've seen the gifts of kindness, now go create your own." With newfound determination, Scrooge rushed back to his home, filled with excitement and joy. He awoke that Christmas morning, no longer the selfish miser he used to be. He hurried into the streets, where he began giving gifts to the poor, filling stockings with joy, and sharing festive meals with those who had none. People watched in awe as the once cold-hearted man transformed into a herald of kindness. The town buzzed with tales of Scrooge's change of heart, and for the first time in years, Ebenezer Scrooge felt the warmth of true happiness. On that magical London Christmas, he learned not just the art of giving, but the true spirit behind it, a spirit that would linger in his heart and resonate through the city for years to come. And so, in the shadow of the grand Christmas tree, the laughter of children and the joy of giving flourished, with Scrooge at the heart of it all, finally understanding that the true gift of Christmas was love. Thank you so much for listening to my Christmas audio story. Merry Christmas to you all.